Hi, I thought I'd make a quick and dirty video to show people how Filebot works. I'm not a professional YouTuber, just someone who hangs out in the different Plex groups on Facebook, and I like to help people not get stuck where I have gotten stuck myself in the past. So I'll put this file on YouTube, and it just is what it is. I'm not doing professional videos, just the occasional little help video like this. So I've decided to download a couple seasons of The Simpsons. I've renamed one download folder, season 27, and the other one should be renamed on how Plex would expect to find it. If it says season 28 at the TV database, that's how you name it. There's a few shows like American Experience, the Ken Burns documentaries, which, nope, American Experience doesn't. The Ken Burns documentary does. Ken Burns Films, they use season 2006, season 2012. So you have to match it with however it's found in that database. So we're going to rename the funky name that it might be named after you acquire it to how it should be. So I'm going to cut those and go into Filebot temp, just a temporary directory, and I've already created a folder called The Simpsons. This also has to match what the TV database says. It just lets Filebot work that much easier. Alright, so now we've got the basic directory structure set. We'll look at the names. This one really isn't named too bad. If you added a space between here and between here, you could just use these easily, and Plex most likely would use it as is. Let's see how the other one's named. Well, this one's named pretty close to. You don't need the 1989 unless the TV database says you do. This one's actually named pretty good too, but you see how they're each named differently. Plex most likely would find each of these, but we'll make it perfect. So in Filebot, click Load, select Folders. In Linux, for whatever reason, this dialog box always pops up below the main Filebot window. So let me go to Downloads, Filebot Temp, The Simpsons, and then we'll open. You'll see they're all here. And take a look at this. Here's a two-part episode in one file. Let's click on Match. We'll click on the TV database right at the top. It'll do its thing. Oh, it did it really fast. So let's go to that two-part episode. You'll see how it's named correctly. And what you really want to do is scan everything quickly to make sure it found it correctly, because you can use these up and down arrows to do some sub-matching if you have to. But if you have to do that, usually things weren't prepped close enough for Filebot in the first place. And Filebot doesn't take much prepping. Create a folder, name for your show properly, and these season numbers don't really have to be named correctly now. You could do it after Filebot works. I'm just in the habit of doing everything at once. So we're going to scan down. You'll see how the two different naming conventions all come together from the two different acquired folders. We'll scan all the way down, and everything looks good, so now you simply click Rename. Filebot told me 43 files were renamed, and if I go down to here, you'll see how everything looks good in both directories. So now it's just a matter of going here, right-clicking and copying that, or cutting it and pasting it into your Plex drive if you're using a NAS, or into your directory if it's on, if you're working on the server directly. Pretty simple, works very well. I've only used the TV database, but if you go over here in the bottom, and I think there's preferences someplace. Where is preferences? That's presets. Now I'm getting over my pay grade. Someplace there's preferences. Maybe you got to load a file up first. So we'll just select the same thing. Match, yeah, you got to be in this window to get to the preferences. That's not exactly what I was looking for. Edit format. So there's different things you could use. If you wanted to name it this way, you could simply click on it, I believe, and do use format, and that would change it. But if you've played with this trying to get things to work, you want to use the top one, this one here. And I guess I don't know how to select the next one. Maybe you have to fill it in nope, there it is. So you don't want this. You don't want 1 times 01. You want the top one here. Just in case you've screwed it up, here's how to get back to normal. Click use format, and now you'll see if I match, it's what I've already done. It comes up the same. And you'll notice if you've named a few manually correctly, the little green dot just means they're already in the proper convention for what you picked. Hopefully, if you're stuck with Filebot, this will get you through that bit of stickiness into using it. Happy plexing.